Hi guys, you're welcome to Web Technologies. We'll be talking about material design modal form sets, which includes the login form, sign up form, forgot password form, subscribe form, and contact form. The features of these form sets includes the Google Material Design Lite, latest Bootstrap, which is going to be version 3.3.6, the login form, the sign up form, forgot password form, subscribe form, unlimited material colors. It's going to be fully responsive. We're going to be using the modern cross-browser support. It's going to have the W3C validate code, Google Fonts, and we'll be integrating font awesome icons. This is a bumper package, and I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the step-to-step process that I will follow in achieving all these features. First of all, we're going to look at the basic structure of the web platform, whereby we'll look at the style CSS style sheet. We'll look at the JavaScript being used, and we talk about the markup structure of this particular web application. Right there, we'll be using Bracket.io as the development IDE of this particular web application. And I'll be looking at the index.html, which is actually a markup tag. We have the head tag, we have the meta tag, which is for the viewport. We have for the description, and for the author, we have the title of this particular web page, which is Material Design Modal Forms. Now we're going to integrate Google Fonts, which is the CSS of Google Fonts. Right there from the fonts.googleapis.com. This is actually calling a live link of the Google Fonts. We have for the Font Awesome, which is sitting at the CSS Font Awesome.minified version. This is the minified version of the Font Awesome right there in the CSS drop down. Can you see the Font Awesome? We have our favicons, whereby we have the little icon you see right beside the title of a web page, right there at the tabs of web browsers. We have for the Bootstrap, the core CSS. If you are building up a web application, it's actually recommended to include CSS at the top, which is going to be very close to the title. It's going to be at the head section. It's very recommended to include CSS files or CSS links at the head section of the web page, and JavaScript goes at the bottom. After the footer, you start to include your JavaScript, just like the way it's been done here. So let me continue. We're going to talk about the Material Design Lite core CSS. This is a minified version of the Material Design Lite core, which is actually from Google. Google incorporation. So you can actually download this there, so that we can use the material design outlay in our forms. Back to the index HTML. We now have our core CSS. We need to style the web page, whereby we style it to actually fit what we need it for. So the CSS can be gotten from the style.css to say it. That's the CSS of this particular web page. And you see it. So we'll get to talk about the general styles, the top navigation. I actually labeled it so that it is going to be easy for you to follow up. The login modal, for the sign up, for the forgot, for subscribe, for contact, and for the media queries. We'll get to look at that later on. Now we have for the color scheme, you know, because we have a color switcher right there in the application. So let's start from the head tag. We have the body tag. This is the closing head tag, and we have the body tag. Whereby we have the navigation bar start, which is the top navigation, where we have the logo of this particular application. Let me quickly show you how this looks. Right there, this is how the web page looks. So this is the top bar that sits the logo. We have the nav closing nav tag, which ends the nav image. Now we have the banners area start, which actually houses the login button, the sign up button, the forgot button, the subscribe button, and the contact button. This is the basic structure we're talking about here. Now we have the div tag that's with an ID of banner. The data image source is calling the banner BG JPEG. Let's get to look at this particular background. We have another div with a class of VC parent, which is actually from the style. Let's get to look at what that is talking about. The VC parent. You copy it. You come to the style, the CSS. Let's find it out here. And you see what the VC parent is. It has a width of 100%, the height of 100%, and the display of table. So we are forming a kind of table structure around these write-ups here. So it's a table. So I want you to follow it one after the other. That's why I'll take my time to go through this. Right inside the VC parent class, we have another div tag, which is the VC child. We get to look at that. You come over to your CSS, style CSS. Can you see the VC child? The display of a table cell, the vertical align to middle. So you can see how the build up continues. Now we have for the banner content. That's another div tag. Let's get to look at what the banner content is. Get to copy that class. The banner content. Just let's find it. You find up. Get it quickly. Can you see the banner content? It has a color of white. Now for the H2 tag, you have a margin button of 0 and the margin top of 0. It has a font weight of 700. A text transform of uppercase. We'll get to look at that. Let me go back to the index. So that's for the banner content. For the H2 tag, for the H4 tag, it actually houses that. What else do the banner content holds on to? For the H4 tag, for the H2 tag, there is a text transform to uppercase for the H4 and the H2 tag. It also holds on to the A tag for the MDL button. We'll get to look at what that is. So we'll move on, which is this, the A tag of the MDL button. Can you see it here? So what is this A tag doing, which is the href? That's a link tag. It's actually with a padding of 5 pixels, the height of auto, it has a minimum width of 150 pixels, and the margin for the top, down, and right 0, 5, and 15 pixels respectively. Move back to the index of the HTML. Now we have the div class for container, we have for rows, and we have a column inside the row with a call MD12. This is a bootstrap class. This is actually got it from the bootstrap main.css. You can get to check that out. We now have another class which is for the slider to content, which actually centralizing the text. Now for the h2 tag, which with the lorem ipsum, you see over here. That's it. That's h2 tag. We have for the h4 tag, which is right beneath. This over here. We now have the aref, which is the links to login, which houses the MDL button, which is actually from the material design minified CSS, the JS button. Let's get to look at just one of it for you to know that this is actually gotten from the material design library. Let's get to look at it. You click on the material minified for you to actually see, find it out. Can you see it? The MDL button over here. Oh, I think I still need to find it back. Control F. Alright, that's it. So what's it doing? It has a WebKit of tap highlight color, and a transparent. What about the same goes to the WebKit tap highlight with a color of RGBA 255, 255, 255, and 0. That's just what the MDL button carries. Back to our index.html. So we have our login, we have our sign up, forgot, and what? Contact. There's one aspect I want us to really get very well, which is the data target. This will be taught in the Java class. The login form model, for the sign up, for the forgot, for the subscribe form model, and for the contact form model. This is actually not linking to any web page, but it's going to trigger the JavaScript login form model, sign up form model for each of these buttons. So we get to talk about that in the JavaScript, which is what? The JS, the main JS. Where you have the login form, the sign up form, the forgot form, the subscribe form, the contact form, and so on. So we'll be picking them one step at a time. Baba, that's the index. Back to the index. So we still have our JavaScript right in chat. I want you to see it. The main.js. That's it over there. So back to it. We have our contact form, sign up form, login form tags. Back to the index.html. Now that ends the banner, which you're seeing right here. This is the banner. Now I click on it, does nothing. It's actually doing nothing. But can you see the material touch on it? The effect that is actually rolling over on each of these buttons. Back to bracket.io. So catch me up in our next module, where I'll be explaining of each of these button clicks. The sign up, the login, forgot, subscribe, and contact. And we have color switches that are actually going to change the colors of each of the buttons and display. This is in blue. You can easily change to red, orange, green, and purple. I will implore you to don't go anywhere. Stick right there to this channel so that I will pick each of these login modules. We'll be picking login button first. So stay right there. Don't go anywhere.